What's the new thing?
I think I'm good. Been left Friday night. Got a lot of stuff I want to go through tonight, guys. I'm on a little early, so I'm going to ramble a little bit before I get started. Hopefully, it won't be a 2-hour. It's got Facebook on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Streaming from 5 different platforms. Technology, guys. If this was around 15 years ago, this is pretty good. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. A little different because on these, what I wanted to do, and Jeff agreed. He was on live earlier, and Jeff agreed with this. Is we can separate this. There's just so much because we're getting big, getting huge. There's a lot of stuff we can't cover in just one podcast. We talked for 2 hours and 30 minutes the other night, and we're going to have more guests on too. So there's a lot of things that I can't get to that I want to get to when it comes to that, supplements and nutrition and working out and watching your health. We lost some good people in the last week and a half. Surprisingly, Jim, good friend of mine. We talked a lot. He's been with me for probably close to 12, 13 years. Every time I see him, I'm always taking a selfie with him. Passed away last week, and we don't know, guys. I mean, it's just things that happen, and guys in good shape, which would lead me to say to a lot of you guys out there, man, if you feel off, a little bit, go and get it checked out. Buddy of mine, Kane Motke, grew up together. A lot of videos with me and him playing together, and it had been 10 years, 7, 8 years ago. He's getting ready to play a softball tournament. He's going to play senior ball and getting ready to play a softball tournament. Went to go hit some balls at DBAT. I was already in Vegas. He was coming up the next week. I think I was playing 55s and he was going to play 50s, and great guy, great family. And he was a little younger than me. Great insurance, a little heavy. And he was out hitting balls and, couldn't catch his breath. Blew it off, couldn't catch his breath, had acid reflux really bad is what he said. And then went home, told his wife about it and never went to the hospital and didn't wake up the next morning. It's just that we're getting to that age, guys, where we're going to have to start watching ourselves. And if you feel off anyway, if you feel, man, I go to the hospital to go to the doctor. I go to the doctor probably and get blood drawn every 4 months, 5 months. And I go to my cardiologist every year. I go in August. That's my yearly checkup with my with my heart doctor, cardiologist, and just to have him make sure everything's okay. Ask me a bunch of questions, but at least I'm in there doing that shit. But if you guys are out there, you feel any things you haven't felt before, man, go get it checked. You don't know. It's just we lost a lot of good people, and I hate to see that. Good guys too. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's. If my buddy just would have went to the hospital, if my buddy would have been before, I talked to him about losing weight, and I talked to him about going and seeing the doctor, and He said it was no big deal. Just, he smoked and he drank, and I told him try to get him to lose, a little bit of weight. I can never get straight on this. And he never really did it. And he's not with us today. On my buddy Kane, God rest him. A hell of a guy too, man. Just he loves softball. He loved getting out there and playing. Loved being around people. Any year go by, any day go by, I don't miss that guy. Hell of a guy. Went fishing with him a lot. Down at the Comel, he had some land, and his dad had some land, and we go out there and go set trot lines and go fishing with him. When I was younger, I've been playing with him since I was 21, 22. I introduced him to his wife. But yeah, there's the passing of Jim last week. That kind of what it does with us guys, and you guys will know this too, is it humbles us where we realize that, God dang, when you know somebody like that and they pass away, just by talking to them and seeing them at tournaments and sitting down and talking to them and taking selfies with them and just stuff like that. He was a hell of a guy. Loved bats. He loved bats. Always asking what's new and what's the best and what's my opinion when it came when I was doing the bat reviews. He would text me and call me. Hell of a guy though. Hell of a guy. It's a shame. Which there's a lot of things I'm gonna venture into on this Friday night podcast. We're doing so much, guys, and what Jeff talked to me the other day about is putting more on our plate about social media and getting interviews in and talking to a bunch of our signature players on Wednesday night. So what we wanted to do was start up on that Friday night, which I've had a podcast on Friday night before. And I kind of went back and forth to see which one was pulling in more. And we are basically pulling in the same. Like Wednesday, and I'd go back to the Fridays again and go back to Wednesday. And it was basically pulling in the same. I know it's going to be a little bit before I get my Friday night crew going again, because those guys would actually know what time I was coming on. They'd go home and sit up, and they would, I'd start talking, and they'd be there. I got a lot of guys in trouble because that's their date night on Friday nights and with the wife, and they'd sit at home and watch, or they'd come back later on and watch it. And that's back in the day when I would go talk a lot of shit, I guess, go crazy on the podcast. I don't do that as much anymore because I work for somebody, and you kind of can't, you can't throw F-bombs all the time. So that was back in the day when I used to throw F-bombs. The one thing I do not like about this is I can't see any of you guys talking to me. And that's probably has a lot to do with Facebook. I have a ton of stuff to talk about. And I'm going to talk a little bit about bats at the end. And what I want to do, if you guys kind of relax and go grab your beverage, because it is Friday night and you guys work, a lot of you guys work and it is Friday night, go grab something, grab a pen and paper. I'm set up where if I show you something that I'm taking, you guys can see it. You guys want to write something down that I've said. I'm going to kind of go through everything because this is the first Friday night podcast. I'm going to go through a lot of stuff, talk about a lot of stuff. You guys got any questions? If I can see them, I will answer them. If I can't see them, then I'm going to go through them later, because I can only see probably 10% of the questions that you guys going to ask me. I don't even see anybody chiming in right now. So that has something to do because I'm on this different platform. I don't know, it has something to do with Facebook, I would guess. But I can't see, I can't see YouTube questions. I do know that YouTube is blowing up. And I'm going to get into some numbers in a minute when it comes to that on that YouTube channel and kind of tell you guys how much that's blowing up. But just bear with me. This is going to be something different, guys. more of a um, educational, I guess you would say. Talk about things that I take, talk about supplements I take, workout routines that I do. Um, and if you guys got any questions, I'm gonna kind of put that over there. You guys got any questions? At the end, I'm going to talk about bats too, so don't worry about that. I'm going to talk about the difference because I see a lot of these questions that you guys ask. So at the end of this, I'm going to talk about the difference between our bats that we have out right now because they are different. You got a 12-inch barrel, 12 and a half inch, 13-inch barrel. You got the Fat Guy BP, which is blowing the hell up. That USSSA bat, which is a 13-inch barrel. That's it right here. Um, I had him on. We had him on Wednesday. Talked to him for a little bit. Kind of talked about the bat reviews, what those guys got to go through. I will say this, and Marcus started doing this too, is support these guys because without these guys, a lot of people out there don't know shit. These guys can talk about what better bat fits your swing, fast swing, slow swing, because I think that's the way a lot of people are going with bat review guys too. A lot of people are leaning in that direction, but they don't get paid. They don't get paid crap for this shit. I know that because I've been doing it for 15 years. Um, we monetize it, but the money that we make really doesn't pay for our gas going and driving to these ballparks to do these reviews. I'm not shitting you. It does not pay for the gas driving. These guys got to buy pitching screens. They got to buy bats. They got to buy balls. They got to buy all this stuff. It's not given to them, guys. This stuff is just not, they have to buy this shit. Then they got to get all the people in together, right? To actually get there and put on a good review. And then they cut the video up. They got to buy, they got to buy these apps that actually help them put that video together. It's not free. You can't just, and if they get AI to build their shit, that shit's not free either. As you can tell, this costs me money here. Running off these 5 platforms right here costs me money. And you put in a year subscription for it, and it puts a lot of it out for you. Like when we do the shorts, when we're doing the shorts with this. So it's not free for all these bat review guys. So what I would recommend, which I did, I sold hats, I sold shirts to try to supplement it. And it still didn't make up for all the bats that I was buying, but it didn't hurt us. It didn't hurt the family that bad because, we were buying a lot of bats, Porch, ask Patty, all the Suncoast bats that I bought from her during Vegas and during the year. But one thing they are doing lately, and I saw Marcus, and I actually shared it with a lot of people, is they're selling merch, so if you can throw 25, 35, 45 bucks toward a hat or a t-shirt, and then represent their brand, hell yes. A lot of these bat review guys out there. Oh, now I'm starting to see people. Sweet. And that was on YouTube. My first comment on there, but I'm getting a lot more people that are going to chime in already right now. And I've only been doing it for 5 minutes. A lot more than okay. I hadn't been 5 minutes. I'm cracking on other people, but I told myself I wasn't going to go there. I have a bunch of stuff I want to show you guys that I didn't get to on Wednesday night because I usually leave Wednesday night with a 2-page. I start off with 3 pages of stuff I want to talk about. By the time Jeff comes on, I'm through half of the first page. And then on the back page, I got where Jeff comes on and we talk about bats. So I want to make sure that I'm going to get to all that stuff that we haven't been getting to, and kind of start up this. And already with all the people I have coming on right now, I know it's going to be where Friday nights, a lot of people are going to know about it, and it's going to get stronger like the Wednesday night one does because we pull in a lot of people on the Wednesday night. The one thing I wanted to do was tag. Anyway, I can do it on here. So I'm gonna kind of ramble, guys, and just bear with me here, because I do want to tag. I do want to, for one, make sure that I'm on Facebook. If I'm not, somebody from Facebook kind of join in here and tell me that I'm on Facebook because I can't see me on Facebook. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, this is pretty neat. Murray Williams, and this is just, I'm going to talk about a little bit of this too in a minute, but I want to make sure that I'm on Facebook. Um, Murray Williams had a OG 28 ounce that he had lost compression on. With his swing, he had lost compression on. He turned around and gave it to Bob Downs. Bob Downs turned around and gave it to a 70-year-old, and I hope I get this right, Bob. 70-year-old gentleman. And the 70-year-old guy started swinging that OG blackout, and it was amazed by it. He said he burned the left fielder, and he's hooked on short porch. And that's just something that we have been doing for a while, is getting a lot of these bats that have lost compression. There I am, getting these bats that have lost compression out there. Um, I had to share that, guys. I wanted to get on another platform. That sure is off. That says I got 15. It says 30 on here. But anyway, it's going to go up. So I already have 16 comments. I only have 2 comments here. And I have 16 on, and I'm not going to watch that. I don't want to turn around and start get messed up and get up here for 2.5 hours because I know you guys got shit to do on a Friday night. A lot of you guys turn in early too on that East Coast on a Friday if you got a game tomorrow. So the one thing that our reps do and our factory hitters do and our signature players do is when we get bats that lose compression, we actually hand them down. We don't sell them down. We hand them down to people. And that's one thing Short Porch has done for a long time, a while. But I think it benefits a lot of those because that's what we're trying to push here with that movement. And I'm not going to talk about the movement tonight. I'll be here too long. You guys watch Wednesday night. I talk about it every Wednesday night about the movement. But are the ladies get bats for that we have been swinging that have doesn't meet our compression, our idea compression number. So what we'll do is we'll just hand them down to the ladies or the 70. We have 3 different ladies that'll come out and hit with us. I have ladies out there that are part of Short Porch that will send bats to. And even when it comes down to the U-trip bats too, the ASA bats too, we'll hit them. They get a little low on compression, and we'll send them to the ladies. And another thing too, don't be, you guys out there that are playing, don't be so paranoid. And I kind of talked about this in a video the other day. Don't be so paranoid about compression numbers when you start getting close, especially with Kevlar. When you start getting close to that, that 145, that 150 compression, and you're so, well, I don't want to take this bat to Worlds. If you haven't done anything wrong, take it. If you lose, if it works for you that lower bat speed, and you're out there, and they're just going to test it. If it doesn't, they're going to kick it out. They might take it away from you and then go do testing on it. But if you didn't do anything wrong, who gives a shit? They're just gonna test it. That's it. Because all bats across the board lose compression, right? Someone was asked a question the other day. I'm gonna kind of get to it because I'm in that little category. But someone was asking a question the other day where do bats wear out? Some bats do wear out faster than others. I've learned this since when I was doing the reviews that some bats do wear out. You can't swing the bat that you love so much for. And I know the guy that asked the question, and I know exactly what bat he was swinging without even him asking me or asking me that question. There are some bats out there that just get too soft. A lot of the guys with the higher bat speed will actually crack that bat, but you have it with that lower bat speed, or the ladies out there, there is going to be a time where that bat would just die on you. It just won't have that because the carbon on it's so wore out. It just won't have no, trampoline effect. It won't retract as fast as it's imploding. So yes, bats do wear out. Especially you said you were swinging that bat for 3 years. Yes, time to get you something that's comparable to that bat. Uh, get your weight distribution numbers before you get rid of it or throw it away. Write those down and wait, because if you had a bat for 3 years, it means your muscle memory to that bat is spot on. You love the way it swings. It just lost its compression on you. So what you need to do is do the weight distribution. Find out what the handle weight is. Find out what the end weight is. Keep those numbers with you. Write them down. Put them in your phone. And when you pick another bat out of your choosing, doesn't matter whose it is. Preferably it'd be short porch because of our Kevlar. That you get a bat that's weight disputed the same way that one was. That way you can walk right into it, start swinging it, and not miss a beat. What happens to a lot of people out there, they don't understand this, but since we've been swinging a lot of bats, we know this. When you step from one bat into the other and it's made by a different bat manufacturer, you tend to not know your weight distribution numbers, and you pick that bat up and you'll swing it, you say it sucks. Well, that has a lot to do with you didn't pick a bat with your weight distribution numbers. You have to do that when you're choosing a bat that you've been swinging for 4 years, 3 years, whatever you said. But yes, it does lose its trampoline effect. What we found out with Kevlar when Jeff and Leslie developed this last year was our numbers stay. They're and I've talked about this on Wednesday. Was they stay at that compression better at a lower compression? It's more trampoline effect with the Kevlar, and with you get those high numbers like when we like on a lot of our bats. I'll show you them in a minute. Starts off at a 220, 225 compression. That one tends to be a little bit more tougher. What we found out, well, I can get that bat to a 220, to a 210, 215 compression, and I still get performance on it. It never was like that with any other bats that I would swing. I would have to have the guys wear it down for me till I get to my 180, 175 compression. That was ideal for me. That was back in the day when I did bat reviews. What we found out with the Kevlar was I can hit those numbers up high. And I can hit those numbers down low with the 150, 155. I still get a better trampoline effect. We don't hear that imploding anymore that I used to get to bats back in the day when we would hit them where the bat would just implode on us. I don't get that anymore. And you can hear it. Oh, this bat's fixing to go. I haven't had a bat from Short Porch in the Kevlar made with the Kevlar that I've had that sound before. And it still gets a great trampoline effect, especially if we pass those on to the girls or the 7-year-old guys that we know, and we'll just go up and give it to them every year. This is the deal too. Every year, whenever I was at Worlds every year, and I would go to Vegas every year for 15 years, I've been doing this. I don't think I missed a Vegas tournament. And after the tournament was over, I'd have 2 bats that were my gamers. And I would give those bats away before I left Vegas. I'd always give them away. And I'd always give them away to I've even walked into dugouts. I had guys stop and talk to me about bats, and I would ask them what size you swing. I'd pull out my bag and I would give it to them, whatever bat that I had. And I said, "This is well broke in. It's going to fit you." But I wouldn't do it to the big guys, the big muscle head guys. I wouldn't do it. The Neanderthals, I wouldn't do it to them. It was more of the AA, AAA guys I would give them to. The good benefit with that less compression. So we did that every year. Trey and Clem would do that too. I don't think not so much as they got their own bats now, so we'll see how that goes going forward. But bats do wear out. Kevlar tends to not wear out as it keeps a high compression for a longer period of time in that 160 to like a 185. Especially with our bats that start off. Especially with our bats that start off at that 220, 225 compression. And then we have bats that start off at that 200 compression. Usually the bats that have a spin tech on it, those bats usually start off at a 220 compression because that spin tech adds a little bit more stiffness to that barrel plus weight on that barrel. So a lot of the guys with those higher bat speeds, we suggest that you guys get something with a spin tech on. It's going to benefit you a lot better. But then again, we have this bat right here that's lasting. It doesn't have any spin tech on it. It's got that matte finish, which I love. And that bat's lasting The big guys are swinging it right now. Our big guys, our signature guys, are swinging it right now. Brandon Murray swinging that. Di seen the other day swinging that, and they're still getting longevity and barrel response off that bat too. That was the first DDT, and the reason it's like this, guys, I did that. I pulled it out. The reason I'm going to show you guys something here in a minute when I start talking about the DDT, because like I said, I'm going to talk about everything tonight. I'm going to try not to stick on one subject for a long time, but then again, that's me. Our viewership has gone through the roof. I when I was with Senior Softball Bat Reviews, my biggest 28-day span, I can say my biggest 28-day span was 60,000 views in 28 days. I'm looking at the numbers right now. I am pumping 101,000 views in 28 days right now. Now, that has a lot to do with doing my shorts, but people are getting interest in the shorts. If I would have had shorts 15 years ago, I would have been doing them, especially when I did all my podcasts. But that was only about 2.5, 3 years ago. I started doing podcasts because a lot of people, it's hard to get up here for an hour and a half to actually listen to somebody talk. Anybody, doesn't matter who it is. You got to figure that's a movie, 2.5 hours. And if we do 3 hours, that's a long ass movie. A lot of you guys don't like those long ass movies. And guys, when I say guys, I mean everybody that's watching this tonight. So I just usually say guys. 101,000 in 28 days, people. That's only on YouTube. My Instagram, my Facebook is not tied in to YouTube. That's only on YouTube. I've got close to 9,000 subscribers on YouTube. So a lot of those people on there, I've got membership channel on YouTube. All those people watch. My membership channel is $5 a month. I talk about different things. I kind of been neglecting those guys because we got so much shit going on before Vegas. And I know Vegas is 2.5 months, but we still getting ramped up for Vegas. So I need to start redoing that. I talk about different things on Vegas. It's kind of like a question and answer kind of thing. I talk about things that I wouldn't talk about on these podcasts. And they can ask me questions, and I'm not going to, up to a point, I won't. I want to try to answer the best way that I can all those questions that you guys ask me on there. The one thing I will say, like I was getting to earlier, I kind of talked about, I want to get to the intro, and I haven't even started that. But guys, get yourself checked. If you guys are overweight, please get yourself on some kind of a program where you cut carbs. I just started doing that again because it's benefiting me and my joints, I guess I would say, because I hit balls, guys. For 15 years, I hit a lot. I took a lot of swings in 15 years, and my body, 65 years old, my body's broke down. I've got a disc in my back they can't even find in my lower back, and they said it was just from torquing and rubbing, and where I've worn a disc all the way down. Luckily, it's not giving me that big of a big problem right now. So I think this channel right here will take off because it's more about the things that I take, the things that I eat, how it benefits me, what am I taking, and we're going to get into it. Just not all tonight, but in the next Fridays from here on out, because we're going to do it Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays will be more of Bats and Jeff coming on and other people coming on. We want to get Marcus on here next week. A few of the bat review guys on here just talk about, what they have going on and how to represent them, bring them on, talk about their merch, what they got going on, a way so they can make money. And if you guys want to benefit, you guys got a favorite podcast, you guys got a favorite bat review guy out there, try to represent them by wearing their stuff or wearing their hat. There was a tournament going on today with the Crush. I don't know because my camera is messed up. There was a tournament going on today. They're crushing somebody. Betty Garibay sent me a picture of somebody in the stands wearing a senior softball bat review shirt, and that's the kind of shit that guy liked what I was doing, and he bought one of my shirts, and but he supported me so I can buy balls, buy bats, just buy different stuff out there. I might be done talking about that, so I might want to let it out. My channel grew, just to let you guys know, and that was only 20 days ago. Actually, on the 23rd of June is when I started doing the shorts. My channel's grown 307%. And that number's, it's going to be on Sunday. I'll give you the total on what, because that's going to be coming up to the day that I started. But my chart has went up in the air. And it's just a lot of people are getting engaged with what we're doing, and which actually prompt us to actually start doing Fridays and to start talking about, supplements that we take. If you guys got a question about a supplement, I think I've tried them all. And it doesn't matter. I've tried a lot of SARMs too, so I can sit here and talk about SARMs. There's different SARMs out there that help with repair, different SARMs out, selective androgen receptor modulators. You guys can look that up. There's SARMs out there that actually builds muscle. There's SARMs out there, which I don't consider MK677 to be a SARM. It's actually a secretagogue. It actually increases growth hormone by stimulating the pituitary gland, which that gland is right between your eyes. And it actually helps heal the body. I'll talk about HGH because I know a lot of you guys don't know. I was a test subject for HGH for about 3.5 years. They were trying to do a weekly injection, and I volunteered for it because I was low HGH. So I filled out a bunch of paperwork. Took me 6 months to get into that. I have a prescription for HGH. We changed insurance companies, so I'm in the process of getting that back again. You would not believe how good HGH is for your body, especially for us. I want to talk about that too, because I've got papers this thick on the research that I've done on HGH and read a lot of stuff, and I've had doctors working on me. They paid me to do that research on that, and I knew what it did to me. Healed a lot of stuff. If I would get hurt, there's different injections that I would take. BPC 157. They actually came back. I came back from a torn meniscus in my right knee. That's my torque knee when I would hit, and I did it hitting. My right foot got stuck on a grate that was in Vegas because they put that underneath some of the batting and the batter's box, and I was wearing long cleats, and it got stuck. I did everything to try to fix it. BPC 157, the injectable, actually helped that pretty fast. So I talk about that, But the one thing I do want you to do before you hear me talk about a lot of this stuff tonight is, guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not sitting here proclaiming I can heal everything. These are just things, and you guys know this, they're going to take the edge off a little bit as you get older. I do not take, this is one thing too, and I never have, I do not take painkillers, even though I'll be in a lot of pain when it comes to getting hurt. Tore my quad in my right knee, my right quad. I tore it playing in Vegas. There's a video out there of me getting thrown out at third, and they sent me. I didn't even know where the ball was at, and I was gunned by 10 feet. But when I slowed up, I tore my quad away from the bone, that middle part, so I could have a big knot there when I flex it. Surprisingly, it didn't do anything to my speed. So I recovered from that. They wanted to do surgery. I told them no. It would take 9 months for me to recover from that. A lot of basketball players get that injury, but Kawhi Leonard, I think Tony Parker got it too. And it doesn't affect me any right now. Tore my left quad, partial tear in my left quad. I got a little indentation in my left quad. So guys, I've been just like you. I've been hurt a lot. So I do things that not necessarily approved by the FDA, but I don't abuse them. That's another thing too. If it works, I don't abuse anything. I don't take any painkillers. I don't take anything. I do take injections if I get hurt, to take the edge off, to get rid of the inflammation, cortisone injections. And I just, when you love playing the game, these are little things that you do to get back out there and play. I've had people call me and ask me about HGH, because they have had injury. I said, yes, if you guys can find it, start doing it short term, make it heal a little faster, that we get you back in the worlds by the end of the year. You know, I will not, I will never talk about who has contacted me and talk about this stuff, because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I was a rat on everybody. You know, a lot of people confide in me. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you guys to take this stuff. What I would like for you to do is do research on it. Basically, when they would call me and ask me what is my experience with it, and I would tell them, and where can I get it from? I try to stay away from that. I don't try to go into that area when it talks about that. Um, and on this Friday night podcast, I kind of want to talk about, I'm getting way too into it, but I kind of want to talk about a lot of those things that would help a lot of you seniors out there that I've done. Because I'm not, I'm going to talk about some stuff that I take tonight, and it's stuff that I take. Um, and I'm not going to talk about it unless I've taken it and experienced any of the side effects. So that's what I want to do on this Friday night. Kind of talk about some things. A lot of things would probably surprise you that I can talk about. And these are things that I hear, I do research on, and I talk to my doctor about them. What have you heard about this? What have you heard about Cialis for women? Now, a lot of you guys would say, why are women taking Cialis? It actually helps with osteoporosis. A lot of the ladies that are on here that watch this channel have have hormone issues, menopausal issues. So bone density, right? Because menopausal, you start losing. And I've heard people say, I've heard people out there that have their own platform, when I talk about women, for me to stay in my lane. For one, I know women. I'm around women all the time. My wife, right, talks to me about a lot of this stuff. I have women that talk to me that play softball, and I do research. So I'm not going to stay in my lane because I can I give you girls something that will actually help benefit you when it comes to osteoporosis, bone density. Cialis can help with that. Low doses of Cialis every day can help with that. You men out there, low doses of Cialis, 5 milligrams a day, can help with prostate. It helps shrink your prostate. Okay. So plus Cialis is good for the heart. That's what it was out there for, is good for the heart. So these are little things that a lot of people don't talk about, that I think I can talk to you guys out there about, and you won't sit there and be shocked about it, because I've been doing this for a while, and I do kind of shock a lot of people whenever I talk. Maybe I'm just too blunt when it comes to that. But it's something that I found out that would benefit. And I've talked to doctors about this. Yeah, you're right. Cialis is actually really good for your prostate. Helps shrink the prostate. So, and then the women with the osteoporosis, it actually helps them. Helps them too. I talk about, this became not really a joke, but this became something. And I'm getting into it already because I kind of, a little area I can go off, but this is not really a joke, but it's, and you guys can see it now. This is PyGM, guys. What I want you to do is, every man, not woman, but every man that's over the age of 40 that's watching this or could come across this video needs to start taking this. It's very inexpensive. Oh man, I bought this off eBay. Not eBay, but I bought this off Amazon. This is the one that we take, Clem, Trey take it too. And I know Clem, and if they see it, they're going to jump in and say shit about it. But PyGM is actually very good for the prostate, very good for the guys. Just look what it does for the prostate. Helps the prostate. If you got a family history of prostate cancer, definitely get on this, please. Helps with the prostate, helps shrink the prostate, helps keep you from getting prostate infections, which are horrible to have. It's for good for the bladder and kidneys, urinary tract. It's good for that too. So take the recommended dose. This is PyGM for the men out there. They make it out of tree bark from Africa. So it's not really expensive add it into your daily, and I'm going to talk about some more of that. So add it into your daily, regimen when it comes to that. There's another thing that it's good for too. I won't talk about it because that's getting a little personal, but Clem and Trey will probably pop on. It helps you get a little bit more distance. They'll say shit like that. But yes, it does. It helps in that department. But I think that's a little bit TMI to talk to you guys about. It's PyGM. Everybody out there, men over the age of 40, need to get on that definitely every day. Because guys, there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time where a lot of men out there get prostate cancer, right? It's just that's as you get older, they won't even treat you if you're over a certain age for prostate cancer. They won't even treat you. They won't take it out. They'll give you some stuff to try to shrink the cancers that are in the area. So just preventive maintenance. You guys are in your 40s, you know. I have a 35-year-old older son that I actually asked him to start taking it. So definitely it's going to help you. So I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff tonight, talk about stuff that I'm taking, how to prepare for a tournament, what I did in my 30s to prepare for a tournament, especially when I was lifting. Just little things like that. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on all of them. My TikTok is blown up. I actually looked at it the other day, and I've got a lot of people joining in on my TikTok. And the reason is because I do the shorts on there now. So those have taken off. I'll cut some shorts out of tonight. And then those will be on there. I have on Facebook, you guys watching me on Facebook tonight, what I have here, is I have a couple of groups. I have a short porch group, which is capital letters. I'm a part of that short porch group, which is in smaller letters. You know, I'm a part of that group. I'm an administrator for that group. And then I have senior softball bat reviews, which I would recommend if you guys want to showcase your bat. You know, if you review guys out there want to get on that page, ask me, you know, to join it because it is a private page. And then you will go on there and showboat your bats. The one thing Short Porch won't do is try to keep you guys, in other words, just only show us all of our stuff. That is Jeff, you know, Leslie wanted me to open that up. That way everybody can get on there and showcase your stuff. It's a bat review page. You know, I started it 2011, and you guys can get on there and post your videos of your bats on there. I also have a buy, sell, and trade, senior softball buy, sell, and trade page I've had since 2011 too. You guys want to sell bats, doesn't matter. Patty gets on there and sells bats. She's administrator for that page. I have Rachel Good too, his administrator for that page. They kind of watch for scammers. The one thing I will say, if you guys get on there, watch for scammers, guys. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. We try to vet everybody, but there are some people that get through the cracks that will get on there and just try to rip your ass off. You know, I always, because of me, I always have them. I don't think you guys can do that though, but I try to get them to send, like if I sell bad, I get them to send me my money, make sure it's in PayPal, you know, that way it's secure. And the only way they can get it back is put in a claim. But then again, I can fight it if I send it back to you. I mean, there's ways where just cover your ass, basically, when you guys get in there. Oh my God. So on that buy, sell, anybody can get in there, guys. Sell whatever you want to. I have a website and it's up. It's going to give you more information. I think I put it up at the beginning of this, and it's shortporchcuttingedge.com. I'm going to actually have a lot of information on there on what bat to choose, depending on your bat speed. I actually have compression levels in there too. I have bat speeds, right? So it's, you know, soft, medium, and hard on this front page. Every little thing you click on takes you to a certain area with our main page with Short Porch Baseball Company. So it's very easy to get to from my page, the Short Porches page, when it comes to their website if you want to purchase something. So you would just click on the front. It's going to take you right in the Short Porches main hub, and you can purchase things. There will be bats. You like the bat? Click on the bat and it'll take you right to where that bat's being sold on the main page. Plus, it's a lot more information. It has me talking. I'm doing reviews on our bats now. So the end of the review will be on that page and it'll be right next to the bat. I'll have weight distribution numbers on those bats. I'll have starting compression over on the right. If you guys have been on there, that's pretty cool, right? Where I took a picture of the compression number that bat starts off with. The more you guys listen to these videos, you're going to understand about your compression numbers, right? So 200 compression is mainly for those quick response bats, those bats for those ladies and those older gentlemen that with less bat speed like me. I would pick a one with a 220 compression, not necessarily a 220, 225 compression. I would pick one with a 200 compression. Let me redo that. A 200 compression, not with a 220, 225 compression. Although ours do get down pretty fast. Because my bat speed isn't like those medium high bat speed guys. You notice that our medium high compression levels are at that 220, 225. That medium low are at that 200 compression. So something you're going to learn by doing this. It's something you guys can go to, shortporchcuttingedge.com. Rob Peters, actually, I hope you guys can see it. Rob Peters on the bottom of the page. I can't see it right now, but I did put it in there in the description. And Rob Peters was showing me a way to actually put it in there. You guys can just click on it, go right into it. I won't know that till later on when I watch his video and get a lot of you guys questions, because we do have a lot of people asking questions. So going in, I won't know that till later on when I watch his video, get a lot of you guys questions, because we do had to see the response. So yeah, I've got 4 on here. There's like 80 on the other one. So I'm not seeing everybody's questions. So shortporchcuttingedge.com. Bat review pages. I've already talked about that. I kind of look at everything. I got bullet points because can't remember 3 pages of stuff. Trey is doing something that is amazing with Short Porch. What we've been doing for the last few months, I think about 8 months, we started taking a lot of our Zoc composite bats, the ones that lost compression, some Kevlar bats, the ones that got down to 145, 150 compression. And there is a wheelchair league in San Antonio, and they have nationals coming up in about another 3 weeks, and they've been using Short Porch bats, the ones that lost all that compression. They're in love with them. It's funny because there's an umpires out there that really never heard of Short Porch. So I got this phone call today from Trey. Like, they had a game today, and the umpire kicked out a bat because he'd never heard of it before, and it had Short Porch all over it. So then you can't make this shit up. And I said, okay, tell you what I'll do. I'll get him, the sanctions that we're in, and then I'll have us on those sanctions, because it has all the other bat companies. When you're a part of a sanction, when you got your tags on a bat, all these tags right here, they send you a list of who's actually into that. It have all the other bat managers, and our names on there too. So I need to prove that we're a bat company, and that's funny. That's, this guy's under a rock or something. That's probably all the thing he does is, he's just not educated when it comes to that. So, and it's a wheelchair league, and he's busting balls on a wheel. Guys. So I got to get him, which is not, I have the information. I just got to send it to him. So that's funny. Trey was like, quit laughing. I said, man, it's got to be something, man. And me and umpires. But Trey's been doing through his bar, and he's supplying the wheelchair league, that he's knows about, that he's a part of, and they can get out there and swing short porch. And that's what I'm working on right now. That's just something that we get back. A lot of our guys, our factory hitters, our signature players, us, the reps will actually get back and giving things to people just to try them out. Here, try this out, and get out there and hit them. I've got some stuff. I got to see that. I got some stuff behind me. There's another one over there too. You guys can see that one. Yeah. Somebody was asking me about protein shakes, protein drinks. I will say this. Let me get onto this too. I don't know if I want to talk about that. It's getting late into this, so I'm gonna kind of go over the stuff I talked about. What happens if I run out of time? I start talking about the shit that I'm gonna get me in trouble. Um, there is hydration, guys. That's another thing too. Your heart has to work harder when you're dehydrated. You guys going into these tournaments, and I'm not. And guys, I hate going there, but I'm going to go there. Uh, please, you're drinking. I don't drink during tournaments. I haven't drank during tournaments in years. Even when I was a kid, I didn't drink during tournaments because I know what it does. You're not at your 100% when you drink in your tournaments. Doesn't matter if it's alcohol, doesn't matter if it's beer. Beer is wasted calories that you're drinking when you consume beer. Plus it's a diuretic. Every supplement that you take that I'm going to show you, right? Every supplement I take, I show you tonight what happens when you drink alcohol, hard alcohol or beer. It's a diuretic. So you're actually taking them. You're spending all this effing money on all these protein that I'm going to show you here in a minute, all these protein drinks, and these supplements, and you're just going to piss it out within 6 hours if you're drinking. Plus your dehydration, and if you're thirsty, it takes a long time for you to get hydrated because you're thirsty. You got to, if you're not doing if you're not doing a IV drip, it's going to take you a while. You get chest pains when you're dehydrated, bad ones. Start tightening up in the chest when you're dehydrated. Guys, you lose 40% of your strength. Now, we need our strength when we play. I cannot talk enough about the drinking part. And I know a lot of you guys are going to go, Dave, well, if you're playing at a top level, if you want to get better, and I understand the beer leagues, I'm not looking at you guys going, you need to start doing that shit. I'm not. I'm just saying, if you want to advance to that next level, you want to get better at what you do, you got to cut the alcohol out and beer. It's just something I really frown upon it when I'm playing. I was a pitcher, guys, for years. If one of my guys, I was that guy. If one of my guys was drinking, I would go up to him and say, "You need to quit. I need you tomorrow. You need to quit." And this is when I was a kid, when we played that kid ball. They didn't call it conference back in the day. We'd travel around the United States to play NITs, what they called it. And Keith. Yeah, definitely. But okay, I preached, talking about that. I'm getting it too long, but I preached liquid IV. Now I just have been aware of something else out there that you guys need to look into instead of liquid IV, and the sugar count on that liquid IV is 11 grams of sugar, I think. A Coke is 40 to 50 grams of sugar. Gatorade is the worst shit you can actually consume. That's why it pisses me off whenever I watch all these sellouts, that professionals that have Gatorade in their hand and they're sucking on a Gatorade and they put it up in the conference, and the sugar that they put in Gatorade, guys. I don't want to get into that rant. I think our professional sports around the United States is dying anyway. But there is some new stuff out there. It's called Water Boy. I'm looking into that. I have not got any because I just informed with it. I want to let you guys know about it. I just heard about it yesterday, and it's called Water Boy. And I looked at the ingredients. It's got a lot of good shit in it. And I'm going to grab some of that and start taking. I'll let you guys know later on what I think about it. When we hit balls on the Tuesdays or Thursdays, but when we hit balls, guys, I'm hydrating on Sunday night to hit on Tuesday morning. And then on a Monday night, I usually make sure that I get all my liquids in me. I'll take a IV liquid IV one time. I don't consume this shit all day too. Usually one in the mornings when I get up to play a tournament, and that's it. I water up the whole day. Need to get electrolytes in you. I don't know where, how, what. You need to get electrolytes in you. You're gonna. Electrolytes is some of the best shit you can take when you're playing softball. So definitely. But that Water Boy, I'm gonna look into it. It's called Water Boy. It comes in a little shake. You throw it in your glass. The other day. Another thing too is, um, um, but the one thing I will recommend that a lot of you guys start doing is somebody asked me a question, and I would love to answer that question because I am familiar with the question about prostate cancer. If they've had prostate cancer, you can still take PyGM if you've had prostate cancer because it actually does help the kidneys and does help. If you're going to ask that, I cannot read it all and I couldn't push on it because it'll blank out what I'm doing. But if you've had prostate cancer, PyGM would help you because it actually not only would affect the prostate, help it a little bit, but just look at the research. I don't want to make a claim out there that I read that big of a claim. It'll help your PSA levels if you've had prostate cancer and you get on the PyGM. But it will help all the other stuff that's tied in down there too. Your urinary tract, all that stuff that goes through there, right? Your kidneys, your bladder. That's another thing I did not mention a minute ago was your bladder. So it will. I'm going to kind of blindly go through this and pull out this stuff in here. Q10, CO, Q10. That right there. Here's the deal. For me to go through all this, I can't go through the description on what I'm already into an hour, guys. I can't go through the description of what this actually will do, right? I will tell you that the Q10 is like a spark. What I was told when I was doing powerlifting back in the day, it helps with the spark in your muscles, get them going, firing off. Because when you're doing any kind of explosive movement, like powerlifting is and softball is, because when you hit, it's an explosive movement, it helps you fire off. So CoQ10, this is the stuff that I take, and you guys can see it right there. You guys can write this down later on and then turn around and do some research on it. But this is stuff that I take, right? And it helps me. I wouldn't be talking about this shit in here if it didn't help me. So these are just little things I'm going to talk to about right here. And I'm going to read because there's some stuff in here on that list of all the supplements. I got to redo that because there's some stuff in here I'm taking that you don't know about, that I've upgraded on. Dang it. Everybody knows this, especially you guys up north need to start taking this. Florida, California, if you're outside, you guys work nights, you need to get on this too. D3 with K2. 5,000 IUs. I think it's IUs. MCBs, MCTs. No, IUs. 5,000 a day. 5,000 a day. If you got any kind of inflammatory problem, 10,000 a day. Right? I wouldn't push more than 10,000 a day. But if you got any kind of inflammation in your body, 10,000 a day. If you got any kind of gut issues, 10,000 a day. D3 with K2. K2 helps the D3. There's another one in here that I don't have that I talked to you guys about is magnesium. And there's a kind of magnesium. You guys can look at that list. There's a kind of magnesium that I take that doesn't upset your stomach. This is stuff that I took in a drip. And this is stuff that actually helps me with energy. And it's called NAG right there. This is the kind that I take too. Hang on, John. John said fish oil. That's NAG. Look it up, and it'll tell you what it's good for and what it helps you. Like, I'm not going to sit here, guys. I'd be here for 2 hours talking about this stuff. Every senior player out there over the age of 50 needs to take these, right? And it's really simple. You take them when you eat. Take one when you eat, because as we get older, we can't digest our food. The acids are not there anymore, right? As you get older, this is super enzymes. It's a digestive enzyme I take every time I eat. It helps with the digestion of my food. So if you guys can get on a digestive enzyme, it doesn't have to be this one. This is just the one that I take. It'll help with digestion. You guys notice that if you eat pizza, you eat some kind of let's say a steak, because all the fat, you'll find out that you can't digest your food like you used to. That's why it feels like you're full for like 8 hours. You guys go out and eat Taco Bell, which is like nastiest shit you can eat. Taco Bell. If you're from Tech, see, we laugh at you guys for we laugh at you guys for eating Taco Bell. Just for you guys, what did it win? Best Mexican food in the United States. Taco Bell. Are you effing kidding me? Oh man. I'm gonna say what I was saying is you guys eat Taco Bell because it's nasty food. You need something to digest that. Your body's gonna be going, what the hell did you give me? So this is this is another one too. This is turmeric. This is called curcumin. This is turmeric. I take this for my joints, guys, every day. Now, here's another thing about turmeric. Your milligrams got to be in the 2,500 to 3,000 milligrams a day. You can split it up, take some in the morning, some in the afternoon. But I got the super bio curcumin, which is turmeric. You guys can eat, because it's you can buy it at your local grocery store, right? I want to say spice, but you can, and it's red. It looks like a root, right? You guys can put it in your food. You can get it in a little shaker. You can put it in your food. Add that into everything else you're doing. You'll be surprised when you get in that 3,000 milligrams what it's going to do to inflammation in your body and your gut. This helps with your gut inflammation too. So that's another one. And I'll kind of throw this in there. Yeah, have you guys seen these batting gloves? Ain't those some badass batting gloves that we have? I just got those sent to me today. Those are badass batting gloves. We just got those. And the color, guys, you know that color, right? That's a badass color. Batting gloves. I kind of wanted that to get that out of the way. Here we go. I see a difference when I take this. Omega-3 fish oil. Right there. Great for inflammation in your body. This is the kind that I take. And it's a little pricey, guys. I will say that. This stuff's a little pricey. But it's an omega-3 fatty acid. And it's good shit. It's good stuff for you. I know the omega-6 not good, but the omega-3 is good. There you go right there. Someone was asking about it on their fish oils. Definitely fish oil, guys. That's good for your heart. It's good for your cardiovascular system. It's good for your body. It's good for your prostate. It's good for inflammation. John, those right there, medium. I love thin. John was asking thick or thin batting gloves. I love short porch batting gloves. They're not thick and they're not thin. I love thin batting gloves. But what I've learned about the short porch batting gloves, I get more swings on them if they're a little thicker, because I do hit a lot. I want to get, maybe by Vegas, get some thinner batting gloves in, because I know a lot of people like thick ones, a lot of people like thin ones. I love thin batting gloves. I think I hit better with thin batting gloves. I can tell a difference because here's the deal too. I did my blood work. That's another thing too, guys. You do your blood work, you can get tested for a lot of this stuff. You can get tested for B12, which is right here. You get tested for B12, folate, right? I take both of them, one capsule a day, because you can get tested for vitamin D3, vitamin B. You can get tested for all this stuff if you're low in a lot of these vitamins. I did. So I do take a lot of them. This shit is good, and that's the brand that I take right there. B12 with folate. You'd be surprised on how good folate is for us seniors. And guys, this is the senior stuff. This is not, you guys, those. I know I got, man, I got a lot of kids watching too because I did look up my analytics, and it did say, I already did that one, and it did talk about um, the younger kids are actually watching my channel now, which is pretty badass. Benfotiamine. Benfotiamine. I think don't quote me on this, but I think it's B1 vitamin, benfotiamine. It's actually thiamine, but I get the benfotiamine, what actually helps out a little bit better. And yes, that's it right there. Good shit. Benfotiamine, mega benfotiamine. And again, guys, I'm just giving you guys, I don't, that one, no. This one, yes. And I did forget to bring one. Why did I even put that one in there, man? I did forget to bring one. Grab that one. Nope, that one goes there. That one goes there. And I'm going to tell you the one that I take. I'm going to show you the one that I take. And I think a lot of you guys need to, because I am getting further down to the end here. I can't throw that one in there. I'm going to tell you the one that I take. And here's the deal. I've been taking this shit for, that was nothing. I've been taking this stuff since I was 29 years old, and I have not stopped. And my kidneys are great. It does raise your creatinine levels, and this is it right here, creatine. Guys, I posted some stuff. How many supplements a day, pill wise, for you? I divide them in half. In the morning, I probably take 8. In the afternoon, I take 5. It's roughly around that, unless I add something in. But this is a powder, right? It's creatine HMB. Now, it has HMB in it. HMB by itself is great for lifting. It's great for energy. It's great for muscle. So just look into that HMB. And then creatine. This is the best creatine that I don't have digestive issues with. Now, the reason I say digestive issues is because what happens when creatine gets into the gut, it tends to draw water. And creatine monohydrate, I do not like because I cannot handle it bloating me. That does not bloat me. It makes me strong as shit, though. That's another thing too. I can tell when I'm on creatine. When I was powerlifting back in my 30s, I can tell when I was low on creatine. Now there's studies going on right now about creatine, guys. How if you make, like, I take 5 grams a day. So if you guys, the older gentlemen out there, I'm going to say 50 plus, right? Your 40-year-old guys, not going to get into this, but whenever you find out you have brain fog because you're getting older, mega dose on creatine, like I take 5 grams a day, like 15 grams a day. I do load up on it before I go on a podcast. That way I'm not thinking about what I have to say. It does help me in that, guys, because it waters the brain. There's proof. And my kids, when they were playing contact sports, whenever they were younger in high school, they're on creatine because it actually helps protect the brain. And if they did get, which one of mine did, a concussion, it would help them recover faster from the brain. It's water that helps the brain out, guys. That's another thing. You get dehydrated. You don't think straight. Your brain, less water in it. Headaches, because your brain's kind of bouncing around each side. I'm just fucking with you. But this is the one thing about creatine. Everybody, and it makes you replenish your APTs, which is, your glycogen levels. It sucks them all into the muscle. Doesn't make you bloat. This one doesn't make me bloat like from my stomach, but it does suck in, makes me look bigger because it does suck in water to the muscles, stronger, I can tell when I'm on it. I can tell when I'm off of it. I mean, that's how good that shit works. But you got to have you a good creatine. And this is the best creatine. I've been doing this 34 years, no, 35, 36 years. I've been taking creatine. And this is the best that I've actually had. because it doesn't mess with my stomach. It doesn't bloat my belly. It's very good for the brain. Do some research, guys. I actually posted on Facebook. I was talking about this a minute ago. I was posting on Facebook where um, they were doing research on seniors. And whenever I find a topic on YouTube, I will run it right straight into Facebook. That way you guys can see what I'm seeing on a few doctors talking about the benefits from creatine for seniors, in that 60, 70, 80-year-old range, where it does help the brain, helps with muscle wasting disease too, because as you get older, if you guys are not on TRT, and I'll talk about that in another subject because I'm running along tonight, but if you guys are not on TRT, what's going to happen is you're going to get muscle wasting disease. You're going to start losing your ass. You're going to start losing your legs. It's just the human been doing. It's the way the human is built, right? Because your testosterone levels actually deplenish, they get lower. You got to do, like somebody talked about prostate cancer. Testosterone does not cause prostate cancer. Do some research, right? It does not, but they don't want you on it if you have a family history of prostate cancer. They don't want you on it if you're dealing with prostate cancer, because if you guys have dealt with prostate cancer, what they do is try to suppress the immune system. They give you these shots every 6 months to a year, depending on how you feel, and it actually makes you not produce any testosterone, any kind of hormone. It'll HGH, because they don't want to make the cancer cell grow. So that's one of the things when you do have prostate problems, when you get older, they're going to try to do. So I try to prevent that. That's why I take a lot of these supplements that will help my prostate. Do some research on those guys. Creatine helps. TRT, they do a lot of research. They take your PSA levels before they put you on it. I wouldn't blindly go talk to your doctor. I wouldn't blindly go in and start buying some off the black market and start injecting, because you don't know. You don't know what your PSA levels are. So talk to your doctor. See if you can get on it. The levels. You're symptomatic at 400. I'm just telling you that right now because I've been at 400 and I know what it feels like. So you're symptomatic at 400. You ladies, not leaving you out either. I think there's some ladies out there that need to get on it to actually balance out the estrogen and the testosterone. I think women, just like men need estrogen, I think women need testosterone. But they got to be a balance. Men have more testosterone than estrogen. Women have more estrogen than testosterone, but they can't have estrogen out through the roof because it does some bad shit to the woman's body too. So definitely that. Now, I actually did not bring it down, but I'm going to talk about it and what I take. BPC 157 is a supplement that I've been taking for years. I've done the injectables, but I'm on the oral one right now. I've done the nasal spray, and I've done the underneath the tongue sublingual, and I've done the nasal spray. I take the pills because of my gut. I got gut inflammation, so I'm trying to shrink my gut down. So I do take the pills. I started off with one in the morning, one in the afternoon on my pills, and now I'm doing two in the morning, two in the afternoon. I do see a difference with the BPC 157 in the pill form. I buy it from Cost Plus Nutrition in San Antonio. I have went outside. And guys, another thing too, if you guys want to pick up some, do your research. Look on Amazon. Amazon's pretty good at getting good shit on Amazon. There's probably some stories out there somebody can come up here and talk to me about where Amazon screwed them or whatever, that they gave them some false shit. But all the experience that I've had with Amazon has been pretty good. You can find out they sell the one that I take off of Amazon. So that's another thing too. I just don't have it to show it to you right now. But definitely get you, if you have that inflammation problem, which I do, it actually helps with joints. I have a back problem. I have a neck problem. Guys, we all at this age, I'm 65. We all have something. Murray was telling me about his shoulders hurting him. My wife, her shoulders hurt. Her throwing shoulder hurts. You can take, like John was asking about the injectable. The injectable is better than anything with the peptide BPC 157, the injectable, is better than anything. What I found out is BPC 157 is better to inject in the inflamed area, like into the knee, not into the knee, above the knee. Because whenever my knee went bad, I pinched the skin, went right above the injury on the side where I tore my meniscus, and just shoot it underneath the skin, and it goes down in there and helps heal it. Gets rid of a lot of inflammation. What I did find out, if you have BPC 157 added with TB500, TB500 is another one too that actually helps reduce inflammation. I'm probably going to buy it, but I just seen it the other day at the health food store that I go to. It's BPC 157 with TB500, and it's $100 a bottle. But if it'll make me feel good, makes my joints go away, it's worth for me $100 a bottle. Bottle probably lasts me, a month, about 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. But I'm going to try it out, see if it works. If it works, I'm going to start taking that stuff too. BPC 157, everybody's talking about it. It's on Joe Rogan. It's on, it's on all these podcasters out there. It's all these bodybuilders talking about it. And it's a peptide. It's not going away. Like a lot of people, you better get it now because the government's taking it away. No, because remember, Kennedy is in there talking about he wants to release more peptides out there. I do think, well, I shouldn't even go there. I don't know. See, I don't have it with me. I do inject 0.5 into my knee, John. If you're talking about the injections, the way I mix it too, you've got to mix it with backwater. You just get it in a powder form. When you come in when you get one of these, this isn't it, but when you get one of these, this is testosterone. But when you get one of these, what'll come in is it'll be powder at the bottom. You got to inject it. You don't spray it into it. You got to inject it, let it drip in there. Fill this up about 3/4 way, maybe a little bit half, and then you take it out with one of these, suck it out, and then you inject it over the elbow. If you got problems in your elbow, you inject it right over that. But it's just something that we have to do if we want to keep playing. It gets rid of the inflammation pretty fast. I am a 100% believer in it. I've talked to sports doctors about it. They'll kind of talk to me behind the scenes. They'll, like, oh, I can't talk about that. Let's go outside. And they'll talk about it outside. Or when we're at a function, because my wife used to work for the Spurs, I would talk to them at a function about it, and they try to stay away from letting people experiment with that, I guess, because it's not approved by the FDA. And you guys got to know my background too. I know a lot of sports medicine people because my wife was with the Spurs for years. And I do ask a lot of questions when I want to know something. I'm just that way. There was something else here. There it is, right in front of me. Guys, another thing too, if you're on TRT, give blood every 3 to 4 months. What happens with TRT, your blood tends to thicken. Your red blood cells need to get too many of them. And anyway, it's good to give blood every 3 to 4 months anyway. Somebody was asking me the other day, does it make a difference between platelets or plasma? I do think they pay you for plasma. Just to walk in there and get your blood drained. When you want to donate blood, I don't know if they charge you for that. They didn't with me. But I know if you want to sell your platelets, you can actually sell them. I don't even know how much they would charge you for that, but because I've never looked into it. I have a nurse that lives here in the house, and she does me every 3 or 4 months. And God dang, I could have talked about that tonight too. I do want to talk about sleep apnea too. So definitely get your blood drained every 3 months to 4 months. If you're on TRT, every 3 months. If you're not, every 4 months to 6 months. If you're not taking anything, guys, it's like changing the oil. I call it changing the oil. What you're doing is, everybody has cells in their body. There's things that can damage the cells. There's sun can damage your cells, UV. If you guys go into a tanning bed, damage your cells. Yeah, it actually does. When your blood thickens. He said hematocrit shoots up really high when you're on TRT. Yes, it can. That's why you get your blood drawn. And I call it fleep. You just get fleeped every 3 to 4 months. right? Because you don't want, as at our age, guys, you do not want thick blood. It just makes the heart work harder. And our heart has been working harder for 65 years that I've been on this earth. So I try to do things that actually help the heart out. Fish oils, hydration, you know, the foods that I eat, which I'll talk about next week. The foods that I eat are different. So definitely, let's see, giving blood, I don't care. Just get blood out of your body. Get a pint of blood out of your body. You can do plates, plasma, sell your shit. I don't care. Just get it out of there. Cialis for men and women. I talked about already. I'm going to kind of cut it off right there, and I'm going to talk about something a little bit before I get into these bats. I'm done with that. I don't have to have that on. Yeah, definitely. John is on there. I feel it whenever it's thick and he feels sluggish. Definitely 100%. Guys, I can tell you if my platelets are too high. I can tell you if my red blood cells. I can tell you when I have thick. You can feel sluggish. And you'll get a pain. You'll get a pain in the liver part. Just a little bit of a pain, like a little rawness in the liver part of your body. This is another thing too. I very seldom got that, but the blood doctor would tell me that that's another thing too. You get pain in the liver, and it's just your blood's too thick. When I'm sitting down and I'm into it, because they can draw probably 8 minutes from me. Within 5 minutes, I feel like I feel relieved within 5 minutes of them sucking that blood out. When I get to that point where I have to be drawn, they want your numbers and that hemocrat, whatever it is. They want your numbers within a 15 to a no higher than 17. Guys, mine has been high as 21. And they're like, holy shit. But that's when I just procrastinated and waited. And then I finally got in and did it. But I felt instant gratification whenever I got my blood drawn. I talked about that. Senior bats lose their pop over time. There is a couple things I want to get to, and then I'm going to get off here. But this is basically what. And guys, I have 3 pages here, and I haven't even got to all of them. This is stuff that I just started, and I'm going to talk about the stuff behind me too, because somebody's asked me about proteins. This is the stuff that I just started, and I have not been on it for 6 months. And after 6 months, I'm going to let you know what I think about it. And this stuff is all over the internet too, because it's methylene blue right here. It comes in a dropper. It looks blue. You put it in your drink. I would put it in some kind of when I mix up my creatine, I put it in with my creatine because it tastes really bad. It's methylene blue. That's it right there. I do see a difference when I take it. A little bit of energy. It dropped about 5 pounds. Helps with brain fog. It helps with a lot of shit, man. I mean, I've done the research on it. I've looked at the pros and the cons. I decided I'd test it out and let you guys know about it. I've been into it probably 4 weeks, going on 4 weeks now. I'll let you know when I get into 6 weeks into it, and then I will talk about it. It's methylene blue. I've got 2 bottles of it. It's not expensive, for what your benefit you're getting out of it. And then I'll give you updates on that, on what I'm getting from it. And then I'll talk about that later. I still got to talk about bats. So I'm going to cut this one off pretty fast right here. Now, I've talked about this before. You guys out there run around, and now you 30-year-old guys can chime in here and say shit if you want to. I'm going to tell you guys something. If you're you're really serious. These are for the guys that are really serious about this shit. If you're really serious and you want to help your team out, and you're, let's say, in the top 6 batters, and you're running for everybody, and you're running for everybody, you need to pace yourself for one. If you're an outfielder, definitely I wouldn't recommend running for everybody. I run for myself, and I do run for other people, even with the 55s last year. and I'm 65, but I paced myself. I knew when I could and when I couldn't, because I know that if I kept doing it, I would lose power. I would lose my strength because of, and plus I would prepare for it. I'm going to tell you guys something that you need to do. If you want to be one of those top 1%, if you want to be one of those top softball players out there in any sport that you do, right? You got to know your limitations. You got to know what you can do. And I've witnessed this where I've been on people's asses about this, where I need you for Sunday. I don't need you running for everybody. You outfitters are the worst guys that do this. And I see the diminishing performance because you're running for everybody, right? You're a better service, not for running. You're a better service to having your ass there on Sunday, or a lot of tournaments are Sunday or Saturday, late Saturday. We need you, right? So quit your running. But if you got to do this, you got to stay carved up. And I'm not talking about hamburgers in the fucking dugout. I'm not talking about energy drinks because they do shit for you. They just got caffeine in them, you get a crash after the energy drinks, guys. You guys know this shit. You get a crash. So a lot of people stay on energy drinks all day long. All day long they stay. They don't get a good night's sleep. So they got to suck down energy drinks all day long, which actually dehydrates you. We don't talk about that either. But there is some shit out there. It's a fast absorbing carb. It's a complex carb. And I've talked about this in the past. And this is it right here. G1M Sport. It's a complex carb. You mix it in with your little drink and you sip on it when you're playing tournaments. You've got to do something with a complex carb to get, because it's complex is a slow burning carb. All your white hamburger buns and shit, that's a simple carb. It's going to give you that big energy spike and you're going to crash. You guys suck on a Snickers bar, and I've seen this too, because you don't have no energy. You got a 1 hour and a half game and you're sucking on a Snickers bar. It's going to be out of you. It's going to burn that energy up for 20 minutes and you're going to have a crash. So at the end of the game, you're going to suck. Stay away from the caffeine. Stay away from the energy bars. Stay away from because a lot of them got sugar in it. You got to read the labels too. Stay away from your Snickers bars. Stay away from your M&Ms. You're going to do nothing but give you a spike and it's going to crash. Take a complex carb. Walk into your health food store. You don't have to take this one. Walk into your health food store and say, I need a fast absorbing complex carb that I can use when I'm training. That's it. And he'll give you something like this. Make sure it's not to have sugar in it. It has stevia or monk fruit. Stevia or monk fruit. Right? Don't get anything with aspartame or anything. That shit's bad for you too. But get it. This has stevia in it. So get it with, it's a little sweetener. And it's a complex carb, fast absorbing. But you're still going to have to eat during the day. This is just something, it's a supplement. That's what I'm telling you. It's a supplement. You've got to get prepared for your tournament anyway. You've got to do carbs. But when you're burning more carbs and you're actually absorbing, getting into your body, what happens, your body dies on you. It doesn't die on you. You know what I mean? It actually doesn't work anymore because you have nothing. You're depleted your APTs. You got to get glycogen in there. You got to get muscles in. You got to get glycogen in your muscles where actually burn for energy, right? So you have energy. You got to get a complex carb inside your body. You guys run bases. You guys play infield, shortstops and second basemen. I've seen you guys do it. We're out there running bases. Pitchers, definitely, because when you are pitching, what happens is you start depleting because you're out there and you're moving and you're thinking and everything. The worst thing a pitcher can do is get drained, either with hydration or carbs, complex carbs, right? What happens is you don't think straight. Your reaction is not there. You got to react every time. We talked about the screen. You got to react every time. Your reaction's got to be there. Complex carbs, guys. And I would even, back in the day, I would go down and get like a Subway sandwich, get a foot long, cut it in half, with the honey oat, which is a complex carb, and I would just chew on that before a tournament, or if I had a big break. I would never go out. Sorry, guys. I would never go out and eat Mexican food. I would never go out and eat big steaks because it takes a long time to digest that. So you're sluggish when you're going to play again because your stomach's been digesting this food for 5-6 hours. Brown rice, no white rice. So that's hell, I'd go to a tournament. I would go when I was in Vegas the night before. I would go and find brown rice with chicken, stir fried, and I would just grab it, take it to the room. Next morning, I would microwave it, and I would eat that brown rice, which is a complex carb, just to get going in the morning, to give me energy to go through the two games, because we play two pool games, right? Energy to go through that. And then I would grab something else. If we had a big break, 4 or 5 hours, I'd go out and buy something with a little bit of carbs in it, mainly a lot of protein. This is a supplement. If you guys are working out, you need to get on too. It's L-leucine. I talked about this too. And this is the kind that I buy. It's good shit. It's L-leucine right there. Do your research, look it up. It's badass stuff. Helps seniors in a lot of ways. Muscle wasting disease. You know, if you guys are working out, you want to get stronger, bigger, faster, stronger, you got to get on this, especially if you're a senior, guys. When we're seniors, it all shit changes when you turn into a senior. I would say 40 plus, because I started feeling it at 40. When you're 40 plus, what happens is your body doesn't absorb a lot of the nutrients we want to give it. Our food sucks now. Well, it did suck. Our food sucks now. Everything out there that's available to you is shit. You know, even when you go to those, even you're at a tournament and you go to the concession stands, they don't sell you anything. They don't sell you anything worth a shit. I tried getting the hamburger patties and just eating them with lettuce, you know, but still the hamburger patties are bought cheap. They're not made right. This processed hamburger meat. I mean, I can go on all day about that shit. Protein powders. I've taken most of them. A lot of you guys were asking me about protein powders. I'm going to talk about them right now. There's two that I recommend, and I've taken them, and they were good. I don't mess with anything that has something to do with dairy. Reason is because I think nowadays a lot of our dairy has shit in it. A lot of our dairy is inflammation to the body, especially if you don't like gluten. You got to stay away from dairy. If gluten doesn't go good with your body, you have to stay away from dairy. So I would recommend no dairy protein powders. Anything that's going to be an allergen to your body, right? Allergic. I actually started taking egg white protein, right? Well, guys, I might have an allergic reaction to egg yolk. There is something in egg yolk that actually makes me stiff, and I just found that out. So this is what I used to have. This is probably going to go to the kids, but it's egg white protein. A lot of you guys out there that eat eggs, eggs don't bother you. This is some good shit. It's got branched chain amino acids in it, and two, it has stevia in it. It's some good shit. Now, what I've been taking lately, and I know you guys seen this, the Steak Shake by Mark Bell. That's it right there. Now, if you read this, it has beef protein in it, grass-fed beef protein and collagen. If you guys are hurt, you guys had an operation, you guys had knee surgery, you're trying to mend from a broken leg, you guys got to consume collagen. When I tore my Achilles 15 years ago, ripped it from my Achilles ruptured. I went in surgery, I replaced it. I was consuming baked chicken with collagen. That clear stuff, I was eating that clear stuff with my chicken because my body needed. I was in my 50s. I was 49 years old. I needed the collagen to help repair. If you guys are coming back from an injury, you guys need collagen to repair your body. Your brain needs collagen. So if you're not eating any kind of, I don't want to go that area about the vegan stuff, but if you're not eating any kind of beef or I actually supplement a lot of my beef with venison, right? And I have all kinds of venison in the other room. It's in a big freezer, and I consume a lot of venison. But I needed something like a protein shake because I am working out harder now than I ever have. And it actually has the organs in it. It has grass fed liver, kidney, heart, and a lot more pancreas. It says it in there. And this shit tastes good. And it's got stevia and monk fruit in it. It's good shit. And it's Mark Bell right there. It's called the Steak Shake. And it comes in, I think, a vanilla flavor and the chocolate flavor. But I consume, it's like a meal replacement drink for me, too. So I consume probably one of those a day. And good shit, I think. So a lot of you guys were asking me, I stay away from the whey protein. I stay away from the I think this is just me, and I'm not trashing everybody out there. I think a lot of the stuff that you walk into the store and get is just fillers, bloats you, not good for your body, you know. So I do spend a little bit more money whenever I am buying a lot of these supplements because I know how it's going to benefit me. What I do want to talk about right now is the bats that we're going to start reviewing next week. I know you guys probably been waiting on that. Is the bats that we're going to be reviewing next week and kind of go through right now and talk about them. If you guys have been any part of the internet, you'll see this bat out there right now, and I think Adam Fowler has hit a home run with this bat. It is the Fat Guy BP U-Trip bat. Look at those colors, guys. It's a 13-inch barrel. It's got a no-flex handle on it, and it's got grip spin everywhere. It's got grip spin on the handle, on the knob. It's got the grip spin on the barrel. We haven't hit this one yet. It's a 26-ounce. The numbers on the 26-ounce is 16.786. I really do like those numbers. If you get the 16 on 26-ounce, if you get a 16.7, 16.8, 16.9, those are the numbers for the 26-ounce. These are short porch numbers. And just look at the videos that are going. I watched a couple before I got on tonight. Badass bat right now. These ain't going to last, guys. I'm telling you right now, these bats are not going to last. I tried to get a 27 in today. I don't think, no, that was a Clem's bat. They didn't have any 27s or 28s. I don't have Clem's bat. I'll talk about his bat right now. And let me kind of clear up some questions, and I'll end whenever I get it. When I finish talking about these, I'll end on that. Let me talk about some questions that I've seen out there where a lot of you guys don't know who these bats are made for or what are the bat speed numbers that are on them. For one, whenever I get done with that website, that I talked about earlier, and it'll be up here, I am going to have all the numbers on there and who it fits, what better swing it fits. That tends to be right now what a lot of you guys are asking. This is a U-Trip bat. So we're not going to talk about Barrel Flex. I think the Barrel Flex is amazing, and it's a U-Trip bat. So you're not going to look at too much. It's not going to get soft. It's going to stay. But the one thing, it's not going to, Adam, if he's watching, he can probably tell you what his compression numbers are at it. I haven't compression tested it because my guys took my compression tester the other day, so I can't compression test it. But what I will tell you is with the Kevlar and our U-Trip bats, they're holding compression. They have a better trampoline effect with that compression number being that high because they are U-Trip bats. They got to be over, a 240, they got to be over that. So our numbers are staying. We're not losing the compression levels down. So that has a lot to do with what Leslie and Jeff are doing with that Kevlar. I'll talk about Clem's bat because I don't have one. Clem's bat is a 12.5-inch barrel, right? And I'm going to kind of go through, you got to listen to me, guys. I'm kind of go through these bats. Clem's bat does not have spin tech on the barrel. Has it on the knob, doesn't have it on the barrel. When you don't have it, his compression tested, I tested it. His compression tested at 220. Compression test that. So you know that automatically his bat's going to be in that medium to medium low. These guys with that medium high can grab it and swing it. You're going to get instant gratification because it started off compression at 200. So his bat starts off, if I misspoke there, excuse me, because I'm into an hour and 40 minutes. So Clem's bat starts off at 200, right? So you're going to get instant gratification when you swing it. right? It has no spin tech on the barrel, has it on the knob, and it's going to handle those medium, maybe a little bit into the medium high, and then that medium low all the way down to the end. It does have a half ounce end load, and I did not bring it, but I think I can do this. Okay, you see this, guys? Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can do this. You guys see this? Blackout OG right there, right? That's the Blackout OG. The same barrel on this one is the same barrel on Clem's. Same barrel with a 12.5-inch barrel. This is a 12-inch barrel right here. This is a 12-inch. So you can tell when you swing it. It's the same with a little bit more end load. So that's what you get when you get Clem's bat. I'm going to leave this over here because I know I'm going to pick it up in a minute again. So that is Clem's 12.5-inch barrel. And if he hears anything on here, you guys like jumping way ahead of everybody. I'm going to answer that question here in a minute. So Clem's bat, great loads on it. I'm going to write down all the loads. They're going to be up on that website that I got out there, and you can see them. We have just finished up. You guys can see it. We just finished up the review on this. This bat is freaking amazing. I really do like this bat. This bat swings fluid, swings great. A lot to do with the weight distribution numbers that I actually put on it. And this actually is made for those medium, I would say medium. Medium low can get into if your bat speed's a little higher. Medium high can swing it as many times as they want. We have not cracked one yet. I think it had a lot to do with the Kevlar. It takes a little bit. It does have that grip spin. Starts off with 220 compression. And it takes a little bit longer to get there if you got that medium low bat speed. And that medium bat speed takes a little bit longer to get there. You guys with that medium high, you guys can get into it and just rake it. It's just not a problem doing that with this bat. It's the Senior Softball Bat Reviews bat, 12-inch barrel. It's my numbers on it. It's my hand flex on it. This is a 26-ounce. I would recommend, because it does swing light, I would recommend you go up an ounce because it's got a 16.4 on the end. And it's got 8 and 9 on the hands. The 27-ounce got a 17.2 on the end. Love those numbers, with a 9 on the hands. That is amazing. I love those numbers on that bat. On the 27-ounce. So if you swing a 26, might want to jump up to a 27 if they're left. You guys got to look if they're left. Oh, can't do that one. Why do I have 2 of these in here? I do have the Nunya bat right in front of me too. But I'm not going to say anything. We just started hitting this bat the other day. Roberto Manaya bat right here. You guys can see it. It does have grip spin. It does have grip spin on the knob. If you guys, what I feel with the grip spin, with your batting glove on, it grips. You can feel it. And it's got grip spin on the barrel. Starts off compression at a 220, 223, somewhere around there. Guys, this is a 12-inch barrel. Roberto Manaya's bat. Amazing bat. But again, it's made for those medium high bat speed guys like Roberto is, right? Great for those guys. You guys that want to swing at that medium low bat speed, you're going to have to hit a little bit to get it where it's going to release. Again. See, I got to watch what I'm doing. Again. Same barrel, guys. This one just has spin tech on it. Right, the Roberto Manaya bat, same barrel, because you guys know how good these barrels are, right? Great barrels. That's the OG barrel. So definitely same barrel, spin tech on it. It's going to start off a little bit higher compression, but you guys with that fast bat speed going effing love this bat. Oh, those are 2 of them I need to put over there. Now. We just got this bat. We haven't even swung this bat. From what I can tell, it's pretty damn good too. But what I can see. So what you have here is a 13-inch. Like Jeff talked about the other day, we wanted to get a 13-inch barrel out there for you guys. So you have the Beach City, the Nunez brothers right here. It's the Beach City. It has, again, guys, it has this. I got to watch what I do here. It has the same barrel on the Beach City. And this is a matte finish. This is a gloss finish. You guys know how I feel about matte finish bats. The next bat I have out will be a matte finish with my name on it. What I'm saying. I love the matte finish. 13-inch barrel. You guys like that 13-inch barrel? Badass bat for you guys to pick up right here. It has that same, call it a tri-layer. Again, it's got the grip spin on the knob. Doesn't have it on the end though. It doesn't have it up here. So compression test at 200 right there. My numbers on this bat, look at this, guys. 26 ounce. My numbers on this bat is a 17 on the end and 8.3 on the hands. I did have that there. 26 ounce Roberto Manaya. I didn't give you guys that number. 17 on the end with an 8.3 on the hands. You can't see that, but that's what it was. 17.3 on the end with 8.3 on the hands. Now, I think I'm done. Let me tell you what's coming out, and I'm out of here. So listen to what's coming out. DDTs. There are some DDTs coming out. And I want to explain the DDT for a minute here. And I want the guys to get on the same. Now listen to what I'm going to say about the DDTs. And I'm going to actually show it to you right now. There are 3 different styles of DDTs coming out in the next 3 months. You have Jawbreaker, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but you have a Jawbreaker, Alan Hancock's bat coming out. He loves the DDT. You have Brandon Murray's DDT coming out. And there's another DDT coming out at Vegas, right before Vegas. All right. Let me explain to you about DDT technology. And a lot of you guys haven't heard this before in the past because I got a lot of new people. That's how come I got to go over everything. And this is the reason that I did this. Whenever I was talking, this is something that Senior Softball Bat Reviews came up with about 11 years ago. And the reason we came up with it is because we were like a bunch of engineers that got together when I had Senior Softball Bat Reviews, Mark Reeves, Bill Blake Jr., Bubba Blake, Trey. You know, I had a few guys there. We'd always go out to eat after we'd get through hitting when we're doing reviews. And there were some bats that we would cut up. Billy would take them and cut them up. So we came up with this design on a bat. And me and Billy always talked about it. Me and Bubba talked about it. And everybody always talked about it on wouldn't it be badass if somebody built a bat like that? Well, I didn't know I was going to be in the position that I'm at right now. So what I did about 3 years ago is I introduced that theory that we had to Christian. It was in Florida, to Christian and Jeff Kessler. And they sat on that for 2 years. And then they got with me whenever I got hired with them a little over a year ago. They built it. I did not know this, but they built it, and they were on their way to Florida when they built it for Worlds last year. And they sent the design to me as a 3D image, and they said, "This is what you were talking about." And I said, "Exactly what I was talking about." So we got it and started testing it. We got prototypes in, and it was effing amazing. Now, let me explain the theory right here. And I actually tore this bat up to actually show something to you, and I had to do weight distribution. In the DDT, you'll see it right here. What we did was we put a weight in here, right? And then we have weight here. So I wanted to weigh these. I wanted to do like I do my weight distribution numbers, and I wanted to put them on a scale. So what you have here, this is a 26 ounce. You have 11 ounces on the tip of this, and you have 10.3 ounces on this. So the dual distribution is spot on. So you have weight here, you have weight on the end cap, right? 11, 10, and that helps that barrel flex a lot better for you. right? And what we got in it was we got great barrel response when hitting middle or pulling one and getting into one in that power alley. So if you think about it in theory, like if you're an engineer, it would make more sense whenever you go out and get it, and you hit it up, hell, if you hit it down, you got great barrel response on this bat. And it actually helps create a better Magnus effect when you're hitting those balls far. I'm It's something that it was just something that I came up with that I never could have did it without Leslie and Jeff and Christian's help. It's something that it was something that it was a theory years ago that came to uh, work, and it was one of my first signature bats. But you have dual distribution. That's what the DDT stands for. You have a big weight in here, and you have a weight in here. Nobody else has done that. We have a patent on it, guys, and it's going to be here for a long time. There's a lot of people like them, and it's something like with the OG one piece bats. It's something that's going to be here for a long time. When we developed it, we're actually tuning it, right? I don't know how we can tune it, but Jeff is coming up with all these numbers and stuff on how we can make it just a little, always pushing the envelope. That's one thing about Short Porch, is always pushing the envelope. I'm done, guys. I did want to explain how that DDT works. I left. I'm not, and I think probably because I talked too much, but I've got 2 pages left of just different stuff that I wanted to talk about. I did want to explain about the bats that we have, because we didn't get into it the other day on Wednesday. I do not want it to go another week on the bats that we have available. All these bats are available at shortporch.com. It's not shortporch.com. It's shortporchbaseballcompany.com. And go to my website, my other one, shortporchcuttingedge.com. You guys can get on there, give it a little bit more information on what better bat fits your swing. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys again next Wednesday. Thanks.